I just wanted to be yours. Can I be yours? Can I be yours? Just tell me I'm yours.
What's your name?
Lily. You?
Ryle.
I tried to be good. Am I now good? Am I now good? Am I now good? Is my memory restricted to a Polaroid and then it's done? Thinking back to what I was always told, don't talk to strangers or you might fall in love.
Exclusively in theaters August 9th.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
Hello, my name's Leanne Baker.
And my name's Jazz Musicianka.
This is the vibe. We're starting.
And welcome to the podcast. Today we have two special guests other than us two who've been on before. We have got Leanne's childhood toy. He's not a toy, he's an actual human. No, animal.
Dog.
His name is Domo. He is, I don't know what breed of dog this is.
Feels like a Yorkshire Terrier.
We'll go with that. And he's beautiful. And he's nice and great and cute and very well loved. Jazz, who's your special guest today?
Well, today I've got Nana. Nana has had a career in looking after children her entire life, so much so that she actually permanently can't talk because she's traumatized by it, because one night they all grew magic wings and flew away.
Oh, lovely. And and Tom's here as well.
Has he left?
No, I'm still here. Somehow that was less unhinged than the film you took me to go see.
Hit you in the shoulder.
Yeah, it's okay.
I try to see as many new releases as I can, and I do reviews or do podcasts on them. And a movie that I was intending to see and review came to pass that Jazz wanted to do an emergency podcast on it, and I oblige anybody with their requests for emergency podcasts. So when Jazz came to me and said, I love It Ends With Us, and I want to do
I did not say those words.
Not even about the book.
I said I didn't say I loved it. I said, have you seen the controversy around it? I said, no, actually, I take back, I do love the book. Well, I did love the book. I have a strong like for the book. Maybe not love.
Tell me about it.
About what book?
Oh, about your love of this book.
Okay, the reason that I like this book is because it was like what weed is to first year university students. It was a gateway drug into reading. Because as a kid, I was very big on reading Harry Potter and like Percy Jackson and those kind of things. And then it kind of dwindled for a few years before I went to university. And then one day I saw that book and my mum read it and she told me to read it. And I read it and it made me want more. And then I found the whole world of book talk. And then it just grew from there. So that's why I think I love the book, because it got me back into reading, and it got me into reading a new genre of books. But now looking back, was it a good book? Maybe.
You have pre-warned me multiple times to not be in a sense jovial about the film that we're going to talk about, because it does deal with some incredibly serious issues of domestic violence and the like. On the other hand, I think it deals with them with the tact of a hammer, and I think it really is quite poor as a film and as a product and as something discussing a serious subject. Jazz, sorry, Leanne, did you read the book?
I have not read the book. I've read only one of Coleen Hoover's books.
Yeah.
And I did like it. I think her writing is definitely a gateway into a lot of her books because it's very
Gateway drug.
it's
a gateway
it's very addictive the way she writes because it's
and
very
it's
easy reading and very segueing plot.
Yeah.
It's like it goes on it goes very quickly.
Yeah, you can just devour it in a day.
Exactly. I go back to, there's nothing wrong with kids reading comic books. As long as they're reading, then that's good. As long as they're reading, it's a good thing, even if it's trash. On the other hand, I do think there is something, although it ends overall, with a good message, I do think the manner in which this is clearly a film that is built around a conceit that it starts off as a romance or a rom-com or something to that effect, and then effectively at a certain point diverts into a domestic violence story, and you're supposed to be surprised by that or the like. And I just do not think this movie has any tact or capability at all. And I think at times is, well, as you saw in the theatre, quite laughably bad, I would dare say. And yeah, led me to genuinely laugh in the cinema. And I don't say that to be cute. I don't say that to be corny or anything like that. I think it is a really quite poor movie. It is currently ranked for me in my films of 2024. I have currently seen 36 new releases, and it is currently ranked 30. Movies.
6 were worse.
The 6 that are worse are Argyle, which was actively one of the worst things I've ever seen. The Watched, which was dreadful. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which was also awful. Madame Web, which actually Madame Web was more enjoyable. I'm going to bump Madame Web up because I enjoyed Madame Web in parts. Then One Love, Bob Marley, which was really poor, and Back to Black, Amy Winehouse, which was also a reprehensible movie.
That was very, yeah.
And then it ends with Us Lies There at 30. How do you want to start? Because it's already grossed over $204 million worldwide off a budget of 25. And this movie will continue to make money and will arguably be one of the biggest selling movies of the year because it is a huge book. Everybody's read it. This movie was directed by Justin Baldoni, the star of
Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin. Has he directed anything yet, or is this literally?
He has his own production company. I can't remember what they're called, but he's directed 5 Feet Apart, which is the movie with Cole Sprouse and Haley.
Oh, her.
No.
Yeah, Haley Lou Richardson. Oh no, I like Haley Lou Richardson. Yes.
No, she's really funny.
She's
it's
great.
about cystic fibrosis, and then he's directed another movie that wasn't as big, but again, it was big. I have watched it. I think it was a cancer movie. Yes, I have watched it. It's about a young boy. It's real life story about a young boy who gets cancer, but he it's like about his life before he eventually passed away. And it's a really good movie actually, and the actor in it is very good. He's very talented, in my opinion. I cried a lot.
And Sabrina's in it.
Yes.
Oh, we love Sabrina. So to be frank with you, he's not a big name to, put behind what was definitely going to be one of the big films of the year. And also, I don't want to be that guy but this is a very, very female-centric story. and I just didn't see in 2024 this becoming what you could describe as a vanity project for a pretty middling TV star to direct and star in the movie. I have no problem with people not
I've got my hand because I've got a bit of context information for you. So his company, his production company, he actually went in for the rights of It Ends With Us about 5 years ago. And his production company, he likes to focus in on taking like difficult stories or stories about subjects that he wants to raise awareness and like whatever else for. That is like the aim of his production company. So like each of his movies, he's very specific when he picks them. And to be honest, if you watch his interviews, because I know what it looks like. It's like with male directors taking on this story that's about a female. No.
I have no issue at all with that. Obviously, well, I'm a straight white guy.
Yeah, but then he puts himself in the role of the abuser as well and casting.
Yeah.
And like, how can you? But I would like to say that I do think from the stuff that I've seen and the things that have come out around the controversy of this film, I do think that his heart was in the right place, and I would like that.
I agree. I agree, and I think, to be honest with you, after leaving the movie, he arguably leaves the most, scot-free.
In what way?
I just think I think he did a great job in the role, and you could make the argument. No, grief, no. Ryle Kincaid is not a good person, but what a name. Ryle Kincaid, Lily Blossom Bloom, Atlas Corrigan. These are terrible, terrible names. The moral of the story is that I think he does a very, very good job, and I think he does offer a very depthful portrayal. And again, you could make the argument too depthful of portrayal, and that too much of the film is actually focused on him. And again, this is not that somewhere in this really shitty, schlocky romance love triangle is a pretty depthful portrayal of a man with sublime anger issues that lead to horrid domestic violence. And you could make the argument, and I might even, that sort of depthful portrayal is shouldn't be nowhere near this movie that is, for all intents and purposes, beyond that, incredibly one-dimensional, and flits from serious drama to sexy rom-com to bizarre love triangle that comes out of nowhere with so little tact and so little quality. Go on.
I don't think the love triangle comes out of nowhere, but I'll get into that when we get into when we start working through the movie.
Okay. The love triangle comes out of this is filled with water for the audio listeners.
Tom is an alcoholic. I've seen him drink 5 bottles of wine today because, yes, we are in the other room. Tom is on the other side of that wall. Yeah.
That is
the
true.
Magic's broken.
The screenplay is by a woman called Christy Hall, who has, effectively not done much other than direct a movie called Daddy-O, starring my beloved Dakota Johnson and my beloved Sean Penn, which I haven't watched yet, but is about a young woman returning home to Manhattan after a trip who unexpectedly ends up talking with her taxi driver.
Interesting.
Yeah. She directed that and wrote that and wrote this. She is the sole credited screenwriter, which we will get to. Do you want to get to that immediately or not?
What? That Coleen Hoover?
No. Christy Hall is the sole credited screenwriter.
Yeah. So get to what?
the fact that the Lively Reynolds machine have openly taken control of this production.
Yeah, that Ryan Reynolds came on during the strike and decided that he was going to rewrite the rooftop scene and has made it into, I don't know what, but the oddest introduction to two people we're supposed to see being in love ever. I really want to fuck you right now. What?
Ryan.
What is that?
What are you doing?
Right, did you say that to Blake when you met her on the fucking
Maybe.
Green Lantern set?
Green Lantern, not Green Lightning. The
I said Lantern.
You know, like-
Tom, you need to really clean your ears out.
no,
I said Lantern.
it's the connection.
He's really. I'm a bit worried about his hearing.
It received mixed reviews from critics and grossed over 204 million worldwide. We're recording this 2 weeks in, and it will just keep making money. Yeah, alleged conflict between Lively and Baldoni. Sources told The Hollywood Reporter that an alleged conflict formed between Lively and Baldoni during post-production after the film underwent a week of reshoots, and Lively commissioned a second cut of the film from editor Shane Reed. Reed had previously worked in Deadpool Wolverine, and Lively directed, and the Blake Lively directed Taylor Swift music video, I Bet You Think About Me. The edit used in theatres, reportedly the version Lively preferred, was credited to Una Flaherty and Rob Sullivan. In addition, the publication confirmed that Reynolds wrote a large chunk of the dialogue for a scene set on a balcony. Speculation about the alleged rift grew on platforms such as Book Talk in videos that noted Baldoni's absence. In August 2024, Baldoni hired a public relations crisis manager. To break all of this drama down, it has effectively come down to the fact that a lot of people are critical of how Blake Lively has advertised the film. You know, I mean, Rian, who has
Caroline, even though my hair looks like shit for the entire movie.
Rian, who has no intention of watching this movie, even said to me yesterday, she said, was it any good? And I said, no. And she said, is it because you didn't bring your girls and your florals? Like, this is already,
Exactly.
and again, this movie, she has not been talking at all about, again, but she is in a weird tightrope because she can't describe it and promote it as a domestic violence movie, because this movie is for some reason masquerading itself as a romance that then turns into a domestic violence movie, even though the only people who are going to watch this movie. Yes, I know that. Yes, well, again, maybe in a different movie, maybe with more tactful filmmakers or writers or performers. I don't think any subtlety came across in any way, shape, or form. And also, who is watching this movie?
I think, but then if you watched it without
any context,
we knew what we were going into. I think people would not know. I think at the beginning they'd just be like,
because that's the thing about the book. When I was reading the book, I didn't know that it was about domestic violence at all, and I actually really hated Atlas at first, and I was like, go away, I love Lillian Ra. And then when the first couple of things happened, I was like, oh no, she tripped, and then when you get the big, you are like, which is why the book stuck with me so much. So I think it's like what Leanne was saying, it's the context. So I don't think it's how else would you market it? Because then if you know, then it loses its impact almost.
yeah.
But who doesn't know?
A lot of people.
My
I don't
mum
think
doesn't
that's
know.
okay. But
Everyone's not watching the interviews and things like
no,
that.
I'm not even talking about the interviews. I'm just talking about general osmosis.
I'd say my mum wants to go and see it because she obviously recommended to me. She's taken her girlfriends group and they don't know anything. My mum's just said, I want to go and see this movie. It's like a romance thing. Can you come with me? Because I went and saw it without her. And they don't know. I can't wait to hear their review about it, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe because we know the context behind it and you know the book.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just have got Coleen Hoover to help with the screenwriting of the show.
She has helped with Verity because her next one being turned into a film is Verity, and she's been part of the team, the writing team.
Yeah,
for
maybe
that.
she learned. Maybe she watched the other one and went, ah, no.
She went, what was that?
What was that? And now she's being mindful and demure.
She's being very mindful.
Very
But
demure.
Do we have any information on who else is working on Verity? Because I don't think Coleen Hoover, and from what extracts I've read, it's not like she's a good author herself. So Verity film. Coleen Hoover's Verity, it's now in development. So we don't have any information. It's just in development.
She said the other day in her interview on the opening night of It Ends With Us, she said, there's someone asked her about it, and she said, we've just finished the script. Actually, it's in its final edits. So from her saying I'm assuming that she is a official writer on it. And actually, she was in It Ends With Us. In the birthday party scene, she's actually in the background. Yeah.
It's partying. She's probably... She had a huge smile on her face.
It's the most ominous picture you've ever seen in your life. She's literally just there like...
Well, they do it in The Summer I Turned Pretty. They even do it in Percy Jackson. Like they just sneak the writer in. I think it's funny.
They do it in Heartstopper.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Yeah, no, it's not unfunny. I don't mind it.
But it was like Coleen Hoover was like at this 30-year-old's party, and she clearly is not friends with them. She just looked very like
she's there. They literally panned her just on her own for a very long time.
And it was like, we know
this is the author.
Yeah.
This is
Which
another
quite fun.
party where Blake Lively shows up dressed absolutely atrociously. Right, let's start in the actual film. I laughed very, very early on because
you did.
Lily is asked to give a eulogy for her dead father, to which she is asked to write 5 favourite things about him, to which she can't do. But she realizes she writes it on half a ripped napkin.
Sure does. Sure does.
That made me laugh.
Half a ripped napkin, writes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes that up to the stand with her. Looks at it, goes, I can't. Walks off. Her poor grieving mother, I know he's a terrible man, but her poor grieving mother, as if she hasn't been through enough currently, her daughter storms out of the church. And that was my first laugh. And then back home in Boston, again, this entire movie is nonsensical and is not based in reality at all. She's opening a flower shop. How does she have any money? How does she have any liquidity to open this flower shop?
Maybe her dad.
No.
Oh,
okay. This is the other thing. They aged
Jazz,
the
you are
character.
allowed. You are also allowed. I'm writing this down now. You're allowed to. You're allowed to say the phrase in the book.
Can I have 5, please? 5. That's a good limit.
All right, fine. And you want to use your first one now?
Yeah, because I want to give you context to what it's meant to be and what they turned it into.
Okay, but on the other side, but on the other hand, I'm not going to say the same thing 5 different times. I don't give a shit. I watched a really bad movie just because the context is given in a book that, from what I've read, is also quite bad. Does not mean that the movie is good. Continue. Okay. Tell me why she has enough money to open up a flower shop in the middle of Boston during a recession.
So in the book, that is what number 1. They're a lot younger. They're actually in their 20s, and she has a corporate job, and she takes the money that she's got from that corporate job and she quits because her lifelong dream has always been to open a flower shop. So that's where she gets the money from. I know it's not, but from what I know, that's what I just assumed. I just assumed, oh, she's quit her job to open up her flower shop. People do it all the time. I literally follow a girl on TikTok like my age, and she quit her job and she opened up her own bakery. Like, people do it all the time.
True. In the middle of Boston. And that's a big shop. Anyway, it's completely decrepit and run down. Anyway, so she's depressed. And so she goes and sits on a rooftop, and this is when we get a.
How does she get onto that rooftop?
She sneaks in, I think.
Surely there's
It's
like
because it's Lily Bloom. She can
do
move
anywhere.
Yeah.
Get anywhere.
See that red hair.
This is also the scene where she's dressed in a full like airplane jumpsuit. One of many one of many atrocious costumes. And this is where we get an extended scene between her and Ryle. This is also where he enters the film, kicks a chair, not semi-aggressively, fully aggressively, so that the chair buckles and flips. And he's like, I hate chairs, or whatever he says.
Okay. Does that happen?
I actually can't remember, but it's not what's written. What's written, what happens in the thing is not what happens. Leanne asked, so it doesn't count.
Okay, that's allowed. That's allowed. He is a charming neurosurgeon. So he is quite literally, and again, I understand on paper the idea of the film that he is the perfect man. He's ripped, he's a handsome man, Justin Baldoni. He can't direct, but he's a capable man.
Have you watched any of his other films?
No.
Then don't say he can't direct based off
Okay.
of one film.
I think this is a very poor movie, directorially, script level, most of the. I think he is a fine actor.
I'm just saying you haven't seen his other films, so you
That's
don't know
true.
whether he can
No,
direct.
that's true. He's a fine actor, from what I have seen.
Continue.
And I get it. I get it. The idea is, oh, he's literally the perfect man. He's a neurosurgeon as well. Wow. And he's got an incredible New York apartment. Wow. Oh,
Boston.
He's in Boston. He's an abuser. I get it. I get the conceits. Nowhere near pulled off effectively. So they have this conversation that begins around the concept of naked truths, which again, I've hit on many women, and I always bring up that time that I shot my brother dead. Well, no, he doesn't. Sorry. He says
Someone else has.
He says, I had a surgery today. A little boy shot his brother dead. What do you think's going to happen? It's going to ruin his life. That's a real. And then again, she gets wet from hearing that. She's just like, sign me up. And then this continues, and she's like, did a eulogy for my dad, and I didn't know what to say. Blake Lively, who is a fine actress, actively terrible, I think, in this movie. Really, really quite poor.
Yeah, wasn't great.
She's not likable. She's not believable. She's not lovable. She's not anything. And this scene builds and builds into, I want to fuck you. And
that's when I had my second laugh.
Yeah.
That's when I was literally like, what? Who just blurts that out?
I mean, I guess shoot your shot. But and so then
But it works. That's the crazy thing.
Well, no, it doesn't work because he gets an emergency phone call.
Yeah, but it was working.
Little Timmy's coming round.
Yeah.
Panicking now. He shot himself again.
Then this bleeds into the next day, so she has to go home and do herself instead. And she is renovating this decrepit shop, completely decrepit. And Jenny Slate walks in, the wonderful Jenny Slate.
They somehow made Jenny Slate bad. Like, her jokes were bad. She's one of my favorite, like, comedic actresses. Her in Parks and Rec. Oh my god, one of the best fucking guest actors. But in this, I was like, oh my god, she's not funny. They've done it. They've done it. They've made a really funny woman not funny.
But also, it goes back to what we talked about, like, when we left. And like, yeah, no, women in the workplace, whatever, you know, she wants something to do with her day. But she has no need for a job other than self-purpose. She doesn't need it for the money. And so she could literally pick any job in the world of like, just because she doesn't need any money because her husband's rich. And so she just wants a job for her own purpose. So she could start a clothes line. She could do anything. She wants the job where she knocks on the door of a decrepit building. Hey, anybody in? And by chance, it's a woman around her age, not 3 builders who are like, yeah, we're ripping the shit out of this place for it's going to be a fucking Starbucks, you want to. By chance, it's a lovely woman who is making a flower store. And so she's like, oh, I can help. Again, I don't know what Lily's business plan is, but to immediately bring in a staff member on the first day, and she reveals that she hates flowers. And I wonder if that's going to come back. This was where the laughter started growing a bit more frequent.
When it comes back, when it's about the brother, it's not funny.
She says, I used to really like flowers.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Okay, we'll get to the point about
we'll come to that.
Hampton siblings.
Sorry, just needed a little bit of a.
And we of course learned that she is the talented neurosurgeon's sister.
Shock.
Do we want to start talking about the terrible flashbacks to the bizarre romance of her falling in love with a homeless man who was about to kill himself?
He's not a homeless man.
Okay.
He's 16
To
years
be
old.
fair, out
Okay.
of all of that, that probably was my best favourite.
I
bit.
like them.
Was
They
the
were really
flashbacks.
sweet.
I thought the flashbacks were the best.
In
bit.
the book, it was my favourite bit as well. And that's not an in the book the reference. That's just an in the book
You
comment.
said that?
No, it doesn't count, Tom. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. I was just saying it was my favourite part of the book as well as the film.
You did say the phrase in the book.
Yeah, but it wasn't in that context.
Yeah, really. I thought they were, again, really quite poor. I thought the 2 actors did a fine job. I thought Isabella Frere as young Lily and
She
Alex.
really looked like Lively.
Yeah, she really did.
Yeah.
Do you know the mole is fake? It's actually like, what are the chances that she looks like Blake Lively and has a mole in the same place?
Not
They
bad.
can add a mole, Jazz.
No. She said in an interview. She said
Oh.
it's real. I know.
Maybe we should swap. Maybe we should swap them. How old is she? Couldn't we have had the
I think
age
she was-
appropriate version of
Yeah,
the story?
she was the age appropriate. She's the same age as what Lily Bloom is in the.
So they really should have just gone for her.
Anyway, because it's not like, because let's be honest, it's not like, yeah, people like Blake Lively, and yeah, she's in our pop culture zone because she's best friends with Taylor Swift and married one of our biggest movie stars. But it's not like anybody who was going to see It Ends With Us isn't going or is going again because of Blake Lively. You know what I mean? There's nobody who isn't like, I'm going to go watch It Ends With Us. Sorry, I'm not sure I'm going to go watch that It Ends With Us movie. Oh, Blake Lively's in it?
Yeah. I have my dream cast, and if we have time at the end, I will bestow
Do it
you
now.
all with.
Just do it now.
Okay. So I originally, I'm not so sure about the younger cast, but the older cast, I wanted Ryle as Theo James from Divergent.
Yeah. From,
Great Ryle.
and you
Ryle.
haven't watched White Lotus yet?
Yeah, I just was about to say White Lotus before you all actively agreed with me for once. And then I would have had Lily Bloom as Abby. I think her name's Abigail Cohen. She was in the Winx live action on Netflix, and she's in Redeeming Love. Great ginger, and she's an actual redhead as well. Her name Abigail Cohen, I think.
Yeah, she seems nice.
She's lovely, and she's been in book adaptations before.
Oh yeah.
That's not a prerequisite to being a.
Well, I thought she did. She's very good as Angel in Redeeming Love. Anyway, and then my older Atlas was the one and only man who has the key to my heart, Logan Lerman.
Right.
I love Logan Lerman. I love him. Percy Jackson, bruv.
I
Logan Lerman.
Perks of being a wallflower.
Perks of being a wallflower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know names. There we go.
Yeah, that is my dream elder cast.
Should have done.
really-
I know what you should have done. Ezra Miller as Ryle. Ezra Miller, Logan Lerman, and Emma Watson. Bring them all back. I I think that sounds great. But again, my problem isn't that Justin Baldoni is not a capable performer. But I do like, and I said this to you after, I like that it's not just two rugged hunks. Like, there needs to be a separation. And I know that not all meepish Logan Lerman men aren't abusers, and I know that not all rugged men are abusers. But there would have been nice to have a bit more of a, what are we excited about?
I just got paid and I saw how many tips I made and I was very excited.
Brilliant. £25 for Rocky Horror, please. Right, we're going to be taking our first break, and then we will continue to blurt through the film and go from there. And we're back. So we were talking before the break. We got to the where did we get to? You were defending Atlas, and don't know why in this film.
He's a poor little boy whose mum chooses bad men to be with, who beat him, leave him with scars on his hands, who he tries to defend, and then he thinks, oh, what's the point in living? Because my mum always chooses bad men over me, and I've got nothing. Goes to a house to kill himself, and then he sees a lovely little girl, not little, same age, they are both age appropriate, and thinks, oh, life's worth living. Is that not beautiful?
All of that made sense until the very end.
It's a romance. What do you expect?
I expect something. I love romance so very, very much, Jazz. It arguably is my worst trait and has dictated my miserable life. You know, you need rhyme and reason, you need progression, you need to understand why people are throwing their lives away for people or not. You know, Jack and Rose meet, and in 2 minutes less, I understand why Rose doesn't kill herself. I watched 2.5 hours of that fucking movie, and I didn't understand a goddamn thing.
Yeah, because you're too busy laughing and munching on your popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was lovely, and it was by far the best part. At Alyssa's birthday, Ryle admits to Lily that he has been able to stop thinking about her. Oh, this is when it gets even worse. Right, they go.
Yeah.
He is hitting on a very attractive woman, and she storms through wearing what I can only refer to as the ugliest fucking jacket I've ever seen, and hair mame-like almost on this. You know, it's absolutely atrocious hair. And she, again, flirting, I guess. She's doing this whole, you know, I don't want to go to bed with you straight away thing. We're not doing this. And then she'll walk right past him, show the money makers, and then make a drink.
I understand that. I didn't understand the whole, because it's not like, that's not the vibe. The whole, I only do serious, but then gets her tits out. Don't get it.
No. Fair.
This is what.
Okay. That's one thing I was like.
She takes her jacket off and her boobs are like.
I was like, oh, I think we're watching a different film.
This is what leads to what I mean, it is one of the worst meet cutes or sex not scenes, romance, flirtation scenes I've seen in a very long time. So they start having sex, or don't for that matter. And so he very angrily, blue-balled, is like, fine, I'm off to bed. And she is, again, this is supposed to be sweet and cute. And it's like, no, I'm off to bed. And she is stood there in full lingerie and is like, okay, have you got pajamas for me? He gets out full men's pajamas. She doesn't take the tights or lingerie or hosiery off and wears the pajamas upon herself as if that is a sexy, cute story. She's got a full face of makeup on as well. In what limited experience, I've had more than limited, but in what experience I've had with going to bed with women their comfort does not belie around still wearing a full face of makeup. It's not like they're drunk or they're in the heat of passion and they're just like, oh, I'm off to bed. She is more or less fully sober and has all of her capabilities to wash her face, and instead goes to bed with a full face of makeup, a full set of lingerie underneath men's pajamas.
And at the time of this party, they haven't been there long. It's probably about
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like not even like normal bedtime when you're not at a party. Like, and also the party's going on
She
upstairs
walks
or, like,
in
downstairs or something because they live in the same apartment building.
No, they live on the same floor. She walks across the room. Sorry, he walks across the room to her. She's been in the room party for 5 minutes. Also, her best friend's there. Her best friend, who is now her colleague and Jenny Slate, is like, oh, wow, thank you for coming to the party. Oh, just, enjoy yourself. Yeah. Your best friend then disappears 10 minutes later to not fuck your brother. And conservatively at 8:13 p.m. they go to bed.
The sexiest time of all.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been if they just fucked. I said to you about 30 minutes in, when did they just fuck already?
Yeah, you did at some point, yeah.
They spend the night, and then Jenny Slate just walks into the apartment, no keys. Hi, I brought you a coffee. Brought you a Starbucks. I've gone all the way down to the Starbucks, and then I brought it back up. She sees her Lily. We haven't yet talked about the fact that she's called Lily Blossom Bloom, which is stupid, beyond renown. What are the odds of being called that and then growing up to enjoy? Wouldn't she hate flowers because of her name?
I don't hate flowers because of my. I know I'm not like Jasmine Floristry Flou-Flor. I don't know, but like me and my sisters are all named after flowers, and I quite like it. I have a jasmine flower tattooed on me. I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. No.
Like Leanne, the odds of Leanne turning to a world of bakery are quite low.
Yeah,
have you
but
tried
then,
her cookies?
but then I like to bake, so
She does. What did she do first year of uni? She baked all the time. It was brilliant.
I need to bake again.
You do need to bake again. Those cookies were sublime.
Yes, you do. During these flashbacks, it is revealed that Lily has, had lost her virginity to this homeless boy named Atlas, and he.
No. Skipped a part. She takes him supplies in his little homeless shelter, and then they watch TV together, and he showers and he wears her dad's clothes, so he has fresh set of clothes to go. Yes, her abusive dad, who was also Owen Hunt from Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
He wears his clothes. Of course, it was Owen Hunt.
The nice Scottish man from Maid of Honor.
Yeah. Bless him. Anyway, and then he shows her how to bake cookies, and they have deep and meaningful and emotional conversations. Let's not just jump to she loses her virginity to a homeless boy. No, there's a whole story that happens in the middle.
They relate to each other. They connect.
True. They relate to each other about how oak trees and the roots of and how the roots are the most important part of a plant, which somehow he didn't know.
Don't know, Thomas,
families.
that they're both in abusive families. Exactly. Maybe you just weren't watching the movie.
No, I was, and they definitely had a conversation about how she was like, oh, the root's the most important part, and he said, what? I didn't know that.
All right, he's 16.
But then also, come on,
about trees.
Come on, you've definitely gone to someone. Oh, that's so interesting. And
when
you know
they've
something.
told, you've lied. When you fancy someone,
someone's definitely told me something, being like, oh yeah, I'll teach you how to do it, and I know how to do it anyway, but I just, want to look like kind of
Yeah, but you've never pretended to not know basic science.
Sometimes you do. I've definitely
Sometimes,
done myself down for a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
It's very cutesy, very demure.
Very mindful.
It's not. It's not. I put
It's
my
not
hands
my
up.
fault.
It's not the best way. But you know, in Bridgerton, literally the most recent season of Bridgerton, she's like, I know everything about this book. I've already read it.
Yeah,
And then
but
the mums are like, no, you just let him talk about him. Men love to talk about things that they are interested in and feel intelligent about. And you can't be like, I know that already. You just gotta be like, oh, that's so great, babes.
oh, Tom's turning his screen off because he's just realised that he's he does that.
I don't. I do. The so then okay, fine, yeah, sure. So Atlas, oh bye Atlas. I'll never see you again. You made me a lovely piece of wood. You gave
He
me
made her a wooden heart
Oh.
that he carved out of the tree where they had their deep conversation about.
yeah.
I'd be like, marry me.
Yeah.
He gave her some wood,
In
and then he
You don't
gave
just
her
give
the
it
heart.
wood.
It was not some wood. It's a very sentimental piece of wood. This is carved into a heart.
Mhm.
I think that their storyline
it's cute.
is cute. Like, I'd read that in a book and be like, great.
Yeah.
In not that book. In the book.
Anyway, the moral of the story is that he's managed to become a very popular restaurateur, and he has named his restaurant Roots, not after the famous novel and television series about slavery, he just about something else. And they go there to eat with his mom, the wonderful Amy Morton, one of the great actresses of the American stage. Given in this movie, again, nothing to do. And they go there and she's like,
wasted. Here's my another in the book. This book is actually based on Coleen Hoover's mother's experience with DV, and there is a lot more of a focus on the relationship between Lily and her mum in the book, and I think that they kind of shafted it in this, because the whole point of the title is supposed to be like it's a
side full of
continuous,
abuse. Yeah.
and
No,
they
I
didn't
got
go
it.
into that enough. I don't think that it was a pattern.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then it starts with us. Apparently, doesn't that say
Oh,
about
it
how?
starts off fucking awful. It could have been an epilogue. It was a whole book about them being happy. Oh, lardy fucking da, we're all happy, and fucking Atlas's brother comes into it, and he's a little boy. Anyway, besides the point, could have been an epilogue. Coleen Hoover, that was a money grab. Admit it. Did I grab it? Sure did.
Did I finish it? Sure did.
Yeah. I left it in.
I don't want to be rude, but are all of her books money grabs? You don't put out 50 books
There is okay. Look,
in 10 years.
I'm not a massive book reader. I try my best, and I actually enjoyed Verity.
You're a reader.
I am a reader.
You have good reads.
I do have Goodreads.
Yeah.
Follow me on Goodreads. My name's Leanne Baker. I think that's just you put your name in. Anyway, but yeah, Verity's very good. Like the twist at the end, even Jazz didn't see
Yeah.
it. Used to twist.
And I like sussing things out because there's a twist and then there's another twist.
And it's
Do
a very good
Do either
twist.
of you have the book with you?
No, but I will bring it home. I've got it at home and I will bring it here for you to read.
I will read that for you. Which do you want me to read? That one or It Ends With Us?
That one, definitely
one.
that one. You would hate It Ends With Us.
I did.
You would hate everything on my bookshelf because it's just like that.
I love romance. No, I fucking on my bookshelf right now is a making of about the movie The Way We Were. Now, and The Way We Were is just is typical syrupy romance in so many ways. I love romance. I do.
But you don't love this kind of romance, Tom. This is a story about a bull rider who is controversial. So his boss's daughter gets set on him like a bodyguard, and it's about their love story and bull riding. You would not love that. I'm going to devour this in one sitting.
Bull riding.
Bull riding.
You're making it up.
No, I'm the golden boy of professional bull riding. Or at least I was until it blew up in my face. Now my agent says I have to clean up my image, so I'm stuck with his ball-busting daughter for the rest of the season as my full-time supervisor. But I don't need a goddamn babysitter, especially one with skin-tight jeans and a sexy smirk and a mouth she can't stop running. A mouth I can't stop thinking about.
Yeah,
She says it means nothing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
say it means everything.
Talks like a ball. Yeah, we all get it. Yeah. Also, it's just you spend 100 pages just like, again, just fuck already. All of these women are just like, oh, I don't know. Just because like the writer can't think of a way to extend it for another 100 pages. Anyway, this movie just continues and continues and continues, and it's very bad and very long. Anyway, yeah. So then we find out that Atlas is also a piece of shit when he starts on Ryle in the restaurant. Needlessly violent.
Give the context of why he started. You're skipping over these big important parts. Ryle is making some sort of breakfast thing for Lily, and he gets upset about her not doing something or whatever, and they get into a little tiff, but it's not really that much of a tiff. Then he goes to take something out of the oven like a fucking wanker, forgets to put a fucking oven glove on, and then ends up clocking her in the face, or this is what we know at this point, accidentally. She has a black eye. He hasn't seen her in years. The only time, like, he knows that she comes from an abusive background, and then he sees her at her restaurant where her partner's hand is all fucked up and her face is fucked up. Mads is going to think, oh my God, he's hit her, which he did. So, not needlessly violent. Stop skipping plot points, Thomas.
Fine.
It was.
Do you not?
Yeah, I would have punched someone in the face.
Yeah, but do you not think? Yeah, but I'm sorry, but do you not think that when you're dealing with, you know, a woman who has found herself once again in the cycle of abuse, that you should speak to her calmly instead of taking her into the closet of a bathroom and going, "Did he hit you?" Shouting and screaming in her face.
I don't think he shouted.
He literally did.
I don't think he shouted.
I think he was like, Lily, what's going on? And when she denied it, he got annoyed, which he shouldn't have done.
Definitely took a turn with that was unnecessary.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to go back. Come on, get the unlimited card out.
Go watch it back.
Get it on.
So then they get kicked out of Root. Burns his hand, noticing Lily's bruised hand. Cal assumes the worst. Ryle assumes the worst, yeah. Alice visits Lily's shop to apologise. Oh, and gives her his phone number. Jesus Christ. I don't want to call a victim of domestic abuse stupid, but there are several stupid decisions in this movie. Why the fuck did she not put it in her phone under like flower contact from New Jersey?
Because then she's being sus, and she doesn't need to be sus.
And he's already going like.
You know what's more sus? You know what's more sus? Keeping a man's phone number behind your phone case. That's more sus. That is more sus.
But then how would we have the story progress?
Yeah.
We wouldn't, because it's a badly made and plotted story.
But also he can take
He can
no, because it's fine. Because I can't remember in the book exactly, but I don't think he puts it in her phone. Okay. I don't think he puts it in her phone case. I think he puts it on like her fridge, and he doesn't stay. They live at her apartment, like on her fridge magnet, and they live at his apartment, not hers. And then he finds it when he's helping her move out or something, and then he calls it. But I could be wrong. A magnet could be another thing. No, that could be another thing. But I don't think it is in the phone case in the book. I can't remember. But it's not as dumb as it seems when you say it like that. Can't hear you.
not. Can you hear me now?
Oh, can hear you now.
Oh, what on earth is going on with my devices? the plot continues and unravels and unravels. This is kind of where Atlas. Oh no, because she gets really hit. Then she falls down the stairs again. I whispered to you, they better not be doing the girl on the train thing, and he did actually.
No, what did you say? No. You said something to me before that, which is the whole point. You turned to me and said, at this point, he's done nothing wrong.
Yes, during the stairs, I said, at this point, he's done nothing wrong. And then rather swiftly after that, I do remember saying, unless...
No, you did say,
are they doing the girl on the train thing, where we're supposed to believe that it's not abuse?
Yeah, and they are. But it worked, and it did what it did. And for someone who's... You've got to think, the people who are going to see these kind of movies aren't avid moviegoers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, my mum doesn't go.
It gets bums on seats. It's
Yeah.
a commercial thing.
Yeah.
What
Someone's
film
not
is?
going to suss it out as quickly as we would because we are, like, well-versed in plot lines and movie techniques.
Well, I'm going to fall for Verity, so I can't... I'm going to not... You know,
I told you guys there's another twist now, so you know.
Yeah.
I'll read it. Not in public though. Atlas visits. Lily's shocked to apologize. Oh, we've had this. We reveal that Lily's father beat the shit out of Alice, and Atlas till he nearly died, which isn't good.
No, that is
Never good. No.
And then Ryle eventually finds Atlas's number. Oh no. It's
They
just
get
like...
married first.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was-
They do get
That was
married.
out of nowhere. Because the sister has a baby with her husband, and then it was like he was trying to one up her.
Yeah, never ever, just a PSA to anyone who's listening to this, never ever propose to
Propose.
someone, A, when someone has just given birth and you visit them in hospital,
Or
B, at a
propose.
wedding,
Yes, I was just
Or
going to say, yes, yeah.
at any sort of event like a birthday party or
A
a
funeral
anything that's not to do with
with you. Exactly.
Or, and I know that, and there are, and all over the world, listening to this podcast, there are annoying people who are saying the exact same thing. Well, it's the only time that all the family were together, so it made a perfect chance for me to announce
You don't
it.
need all the family together to propose.
And we're not in Victorian England anymore. You know, everybody's got a goddamn phone.
Exactly.
so true.
He's carrying the child. He is literally carrying the child
Yeah,
as he goes
with
down
the
on one
baby.
knee. And Blake Lively has to say, not with the baby, give me the baby. Oh my God, this is so funny.
That baby. But also, not only do they do that, they're actually such a shit couple. When they announce that she was pregnant, they bring up the dead brother for the first time when they're in the bar and they're like, we're having a baby. They're like, oh, congrats. And then they start talking about babies. And then they're like, oh yeah, the dead brother. And then she's like, what about the dead brother? She doesn't think, oh, Ryle, you can tell me about that in your own time later. No, Ryle's sister, tell me about the dead brother right now after you've announced your pregnancy.
I didn't know you had a brother. Why are you both looking at each other with dead stares and very clearly saying to one another without words, don't bring up Emerson?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very bad. This leads into the ensuing agony pushes her down the stairs. Yeah, pushes her down the stairs again. It's edited so that it looks like she just fell. Root is featured in a local magazine. Again, just this. How are we going to get some conflict? Get that square peg into the circle. How are we going to progress this story forward in any way, shape, or form? Oh, I know. There's a famous magazine with the top 10 local businesses of Boston. And Lily's pretty good. She's 7, but Root's number 1. And what does the interviewer ask him? Where does the name Root come from? Well, it's funny you should ask that. It's actually because I fell in love with a woman named Lily Blossom Bloom. She lives at 58 Gardner Flats, and I would marry her if I had the chance. Thank you very much.
That is essentially what... Because also, he knows the situation that she's in. And the interviewer asks him, have you seen her since? Because he says it's about the girl he once knew or whatever. And he just goes,
Yes, I have.
That's all I'm going to say. And it's like, oh, so you just want her to get fucking hit around, don't you dumb fuck? Like, why would you do that when you know she's in a bad situation?
So yeah, Atlas, you didn't really read the
Atlas
room
doesn't
there.
think.
You didn't
doesn't
really
think.
read the room.
Because he makes a dad joke later as well when she ends. Oh, I'll get on to that.
Anyway,
We're nearly there.
Yeah,
This
true.
leads into, I think, an effectively done scene where he tries to rape her, and then she in this montage then of what just.
I think it's important to note that Lily gets a tattoo of the love heart that and the story says, like, in the interview, I think it says like about the love heart, and Ryle actually, like, during the attack bites her in that spot, which is like something that always got to me. Like, it's like there's fucked and then there's
that was weird.
like that's extra fucked, like in the head.
But this is also the first time that we see an incident occur truthfully on film, instead of the lies that the editor, it's been edited not truthfully or objectively. This then blurs into a montage where Lily realizes in a flash everything that's occurred up until this moment. She was pushed down the stairs. He did hit her with the oven. And I think it's kind of effectively done. She eventually storms out and she rushes to Atlas. I just feel, and I know that you like the romance girls, I just feel like the whole Atlas plotline is a corny, average Netflix romance movie that is fine, forced into what could have been and is on some ways an effective story of domestic abuse, to give this story of domestic abuse a happy ending. It's okay, she gets a nice man now.
I don't agree with the statement that just came from your mouth. I think that when you are in a situation of domestic abuse, she again is only around people of his family, his friends. Those are the only people she apparently knows in Boston because she's just moved there. When you have that person from your old life come back into your new life and they can see what's going on when you can't, and they can give you a safe space, I think that's what Atlas is there for when he comes back, is to remind her of what true love actually is. And I'm not talking in terms of fairy tales, I'm talking in terms of, like, even if he was like a friend, like if Leanne was to come back into my life, a person who I love was, and to see me in that situation after not seeing me for many years, and then reminding me of what it is to actually be loved without that warpedness, it's gonna make you feel like it's gonna help you clock. So I think that's what his character is there for.
Okay, but you also know the truth, which is that it is.
No, we know your opinion.
Okay, all right. My opinion that this book sells a lot more copies with a nice love triangle at the core of it, and you're like, oh my god, is Atlas gonna fight? Oh, is she gonna get with that? Oh, is she gonna get with Atlas or Ryle? Oh, I hope she realizes. You know that I'm partially, deep down.
But in that bit of the story, you're not going, oh, they're going to meet up and kiss and all things will be fine.
You're thinking, oh, they're going to meet up and he's going to help her get out of that situation.
You don't think, oh my God. You're like,
I at no point felt like, both when I read the book and when I watched the movie, felt like this is a love triangle. It was always made very clear that when Atlas came back into her life, that yes, there's like, of course, when your first love comes back into your life, I'm a fucking sucker for it. Like you're gonna look at that person and be like, that was someone who I loved, and that was my first experience of love. So there's always gonna be that there. But she never made a move. He never made a move until way, way, way later. And I don't think I ever read it as a love triangle, and I didn't watch it as a love triangle.
Yeah, because they
I
get
guess,
like
I
when they
guess.
get together, they're like her kid is like
Is a toddler.
A toddler.
She's like
Years
a couple,
later.
yeah, it's not like instantly later.
Yeah,
She
I
did
guess.
great
But
on Man.
true.
It ain't Twilight, right? There ain't no Team Atlas, Team Royal. Team no one.
Jazz, there is. You are lying to yourself if you don't think somewhere in your book talks or Reddits there is a Team Atlas team. Well, no, there isn't a team. Well, no, this is the thing, isn't it?
No
There
one
is
is
no,
a Team
exactly. I
Royal.
know. This is.
If anyone's Team Royal, then we need to send them like some links.
Yeah.
Which leads us,
check their
which,
Yeah.
which leads us effectively to the rest and the end of the film, which is kind of, I dare say, Team Ryle. And I don't know whether this is in the book. I don't know whether this is Justin Baldoni being a really empathetic and good performer, but he is presented for the rest of the film as a kind and considerate man learning to avoid, his horrid tendencies. And the movie ends presenting him as a really respectful man who's going to leave her alone and forget about his child. And
I think they kind of more represent him as the normal thing that you should do. Because I don't go,
yes,
oh, yeah,
but nobody
him.
would.
I go, well, yeah, he kind of just
That's
did
the
what he was
fucking
told. That's
bare
the
minimum.
They just want them to do.
Yeah.
No,
I wouldn't
not.
say it's kind and
I don't
considerate.
think I ever like afterwards and they're like, oh, go him. I was just
No.
kind of there like, bye.
Yeah, and also
Bye.
when people are in like I don't know how well versed people are in their experiences of domestic violence, but I've known people who have been in those situations, and I've read stories about it, and like not personally been through it, but like have heard like in-person experience of it and been around. And abusers sometimes they know that they will come back. I think it's some crazy statistic is like it's like the third time that a woman leaves or is taken to the hospital. It's like the third or fourth time that she actually actively leaves. If she leaves at all, Lily's mum says it herself, she stayed until he died. Like Ryle probably thinks she's gonna come back, and that's why the book is called It Ends With Us, because Lily actively makes that decision to not go back. But we see her toy with that. Because what abusers do is they hurt you, they say they're sorry. They hurt you again, they say they're sorry. They hurt you again, they say they're going to change. He hurts her, he leaves her alone, he comes back, see, look, I've changed. But she doesn't know that. So she makes the choice of, I'm not going to let it happen again. It stopped here. So actually...
I know, I saw the film. But he then is like, yeah, you're right. And he leaves and he cries, and they call the child Emerson, which is a terrible life for that young girl. And then he's like, yeah, bye-bye, Lily. And I think it's a lot nicer of a portrayal and depth. This is what I'm saying. And I don't know whether it's because there is, he was too invested in the film, and because he was playing that role, he got too invested in the character. But there is a lot more depth and a lot more of a nice touch given to this horrible, horrible man that I don't necessarily think the film earns, deserves, or should have for a mass public audience.
I don't think that would have been a realistic portrayal of what a mindfuck domestic violence is.
Yeah.
I don't think that's realistic, because they do the horrible thing and then they make it up to you, and then they do the horrible thing again and then they make it up to you. It makes you, they gaslight. I'm not
talking about the making up. I'm talking about him literally leaving her at the end of the film, and then we see years later they have no contact or anything like that. The way this film presents it is he goes, yeah, I am a piece of shit. I accept that. I'll never talk to the child and see the child again. Bye
We
bye.
don't know. It doesn't.
We
Okay.
do, because there's a years later montage that he is nowhere near a part of. The film does not end as it should have, with it ends with us. Has there ever been an easier way to end a movie? In my, I've never seen. You don't even have to have her say it. You Can Count on Me, one of the most beautiful films ever. The film is called You Can Count on Me, and then at the end of the film, they're talking to each other, this beautiful brother and sister, and they say to each other, "You know what we always used to say as kids? You know, it's still true." And we know that it's You Can Count on Me because we've watched the film and it's called It Ends With Us, and it's called You Can Count on Me. If you just had her touch the baby and go, and even do it Avengers Assemble ways, I don't care, you know, and it cuts to black. I do not need, hey, yo, you like swings, you know, Atlas fucking coming along again. Because the movie is not about her learning to have strength in other men. It's about her learning to have strength within herself and for her child. And I thought Blake Lively's best moment by far was that final scene with Ryle in the bed and that lovely monologue that I'm sure is from the book, and go from there. But I also understand. But I also understand
the ending, because she's like, she ditches him, but doesn't mean that she can.
She jumped straight into bed with Atlas.
And even if she did, go her.
Who gives a fuck? She wants to do what's best for her. No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah,
That's not what we're saying.
We're just saying that, like, I don't know. It's just.
I think that it's nice to see that she is open to the idea of love again,
Yeah.
because he even says to her when he says goodbye to her, and he will not see her for a couple of years, like at least 3 years, because she has the full pregnancy and then the child is at least 2 years old, so they haven't seen each other for 3 years. He says to her, if you ever feel capable, or if you ever feel like you can fall in love with someone again, just fall in love with me. And it's because he says that, I then think it's okay. But at the end, she's gone away, she's left him, she's built a life for herself, she's reconnected with her mother, she's raising her child, and she then goes, I'm in the position to love again. And it's good, and we don't know that it's going to be Atlas. It is Atlas, but you know, she's in that position again.
Yeah,
I think it's a nice conclusion for her story.
I agree.
And there we go. Leanne, any final thoughts on It Ends With Us, a movie that will rank, that will receive an obscene amount of money? And I feel like you've all grown more positive. You were not this positive when we left the cinema.
I didn't think it was actually an awful film.
You even said that to me on the way home. You said to me you didn't think it was that bad.
I wasn't thinking it was that bad. I think it was, yes, they did press for the money thing and kind of like the whole like marketing of it. But you know what? You do you, boo. People need money. That's what they do. It's life. I think it fits its target audience. I think a lot of people will eat that up.
And they did.
I did.
Yeah. And it's not.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
In a way. And also, I love the song Skinny Love. It came on and I went,
God.
I was like, I love that song.
It is a good song.
Was it the best song to pick for that bit? Not really. But I do like that song. That's my last thing.
Well, they had Taylor Swift's song that was not Ricochet. It's not called Ricochet.
Skinny Love is a good song.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an average film. And I think if my friends were going to go see it, they were like, I would be like, yeah, go see it.
Yeah, they asked you. Yeah, I agree. If I was asked by my friends, my female friends, I would tell them to go and watch it.
I'd recommend
Grab your girls, grab your florals.
But
I wouldn't say it like
I wouldn't
that.
say it like that.
No.
I just think maybe, the marketing was wrong. They didn't read the room.
No. But also, I think that our current media is caught up in the behind the scenes controversy. Ever since fucking Don't Worry Darling has come out, it seems like a lot of films build momentum out of
Drama.
When this happened on set and when this is going on, and it's all like this affair happened, like, you know what I mean, like they're built, like people build off of the controversy. I think if you remove that, it actually wouldn't be
remove all the context that you knew about
Interesting.
it. Like literally, like if I saw that film's trailer on another film, I'd be like, yeah, back in the day on a DVD, I'd go and watch it and buy the
Yeah.
other DVD.
Yeah.
I guess you definitely both liked it more than me. Solid 4 out of 10, I think. No better, no worse.
I gave it when I was at cinema, I gave it a solid 5.5 out of 10.
Okay, so not much more than me in the first place. Thank you very much, girls. That was lovely. What would you give it, Jazz?
Me.
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba.